welcome to Unfiltered
I
with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hey, friend, welcome back to Unfiltered with Roxy. I wanted to take a moment to do a short wrap up of Vlogmas because this experience has taught me way more than I expected. Vlogmas wasn't just about posting videos every day or becoming viral, it became a lesson in creativity, honesty, self awareness, all of the things. I learned new recording skills, different techniques, and I gained a whole new perspective on what it actually takes to have a YouTube channel, to do a vlog, to be a content creator. I also wanted to talk about things I learned along the way, what worked, what didn't work, what I scrapped, and the biggest question that people always ask, which is what I asked when I wanted to participate in Vlogmas, did it actually help my channel to grow? So this isn't about perfection. It isn't about going viral. It's about my process in growth of how I create and the process of growth of me that was actually happening in real time. And this process not only is about growth, but it's about connection and showing up as your true self. So, if you're a creator, a thinker, or someone who's been sitting on ideas that you haven't fully developed yet, I hope something here sparks that fire for you to go ahead and get it done because what are you waiting for? So, yes, we're going to be creative and move forward. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is expectation versus reality. I thought at first that you just have an idea, you click start, and all of it'll just come together. And that's just not true. What I really learned is ideas don't exist in a vacuum and that the execution requires so much prep and systems to be involved. And I've heard that before because of the content that I'm watching now. I knew that that was a thing. I knew it needed to be done, but the execution of it, I definitely didn't know all of that. I didn't know that like you don't just have an idea and then they just keep rolling and you just keep producing and it's all so easy and so great. It's not like that at all. You have to make sure that your ideas are really fully thought out and can land because why would someone keep watching if there's no help to them? So the why behind what you're doing also counts, but the whole idea, you have great ideas. The ideas have purpose. They're going to make change. So if that is what we truly believe about our ideas, we need to make sure we're nurturing them and that when we're sharing them, they're doing what they're supposed to do. That it doesn't become a meme or it doesn't just become junk in the internet sphere. So that was really what I learned, having the systems in place. And by that, I mean, when am I going to record? When am I going to edit what I record? When am I charging all my devices, which I only have my one iPhone. Well, I have two iPhones, but really the one that I create on is the newer iPhone. So I only have one iPhone. I have one ring light that I had to buy again because my other ring light broke. So it's like also, are my microphones charged up? Like I had to buy microphones so that when I wanted to do content outside, you could actually hear me. So there was just a lot of things that I had to learn in the process to really make it a great experience for everyone. Not only great for you, but great for me. Because if it's frustrating, I'm not going to want to do it. You're going to be able to tell from that video because my energy is going to be dry. You're not going to connect with it. So, and if I don't know where I'm going, how are you going to get there? Right. So, those are some of the things that I learned on my expectation versus the reality. And that kind of led me into this unsexiness of being a content creator. which is like you just see your favorite people on YouTube doing their vlog or I watch a lot of podcasts and I only see them when they're all together and their ideas are already onto the screen. And behind the scenes of all that is a lot. And I appreciate all the content creators who actually make it look easy and also go through an extra step of explaining how they got to what they're doing. And one of the content creators I really like, I'm going to put her in my caption of this podcast because that was really helpful to me. She taught me a lot about not only the technical things of, like I was saying, making sure your stuff is charged, how to get different angles. There was one lady that is my age, so it's two different people that I'm thinking about right now, that she went through and said, this is the mic that you should get. This is how you set up different angles. And Vlogmas did really great at that because it made me think outside the box of, well, I don't want to just do the same talking videos. Like I want to do different stuff. So that in itself was very life-changing for me. Doing the videos every day helped me not only with the idea part, but with the technical part. Making sure my phone is charged. I have to have my phone charged. And my phone died several times during this month, which just shows you that that whole arc of the learning curve was fast. I had to do it fast. Storage readiness. One of the things that I did not realize as a content creator, you're always like, oh, well, this looks beautiful. This looks good. Let me take a picture. Let me take a video. Let me do this. Let me do that. Well, you can't do any of that if you don't have space on your phone. And that was something I never really thought about before because I hardly would take pictures of myself, which I also think that's not good. Why do we not capture pictures of ourselves? It's always like the outside world. And I guess maybe that's just me because of the time period I grew up in. I don't have a lot of selfies, which my daughters have a lot. I just don't have a lot. And then it's like, why not? Because there were certain things that I could think of that when we had went to the beach, certain things that I didn't have videos of. I had to ask them for it because I just didn't find value in it. But there was a lot of value in it because I wanted to do something with it and I didn't take the pictures. So once we get into the mode of we have great ideas and let's capture little things because we may be able to use it later. You just have to make sure you're learning how to do your storage and purge out the old videos that you're no longer using. Because some things are silly. I only did it for what I was talking about. But like one of the creators I was saying, there are things that you could reuse, use at a later time because you have an idea to use it at a later time. So clearing out my storage so that when I actually have an idea that I want to do, I'm thinking about one Vlogmas day with my dog Foxy. I had this great idea that I was going to make a charcuterie board for her, cute coochie board for her. And I did not have enough space and my phone died. And when I was frustrated, my husband was like, well, Dad, you just gonna have to shoot it again tomorrow. And I was like, oh no, I'm not. I cut everything up and I charged my phone. I did all the things so that I could do it again. But it's just like those are things that can be a hindrance to your inspiration because I was so excited about it. I had done a big cut up, all the things, and then I didn't have enough storage. So that's something that I learned along the process. Saving my videos properly, using my external hard drive, which I did buy a dongle and an SD card, but I don't know if my dongle isn't working, but the SD card was not getting captured on my phone. So I didn't even get to do that process. But this weekend, tomorrow, that's what I'm going to dedicate my time to do. Getting my videos off, saving them on an external hard drive, and having a system that I can easily find stuff because I did waste a lot of my creative energy looking for videos that I did not tag, but I knew were in my phone. And at some points, I even got frustrated and I just asked my daughters, can you just send me the video from blah, blah, blah? And they were able to do it. So when inspiration hits, your tech needs to be in place. That's one of my main things that I learned from Vlogmas as well. So I don't have a bottleneck of ideas. And that goes into my appreciation of the content creators that I really love because they make it look so easy. They make it look so great. They look not only look good, but also just show up in such a great way that I'm able to learn, understand things in a different way, be interested in things that I may not have been interested in. So I really have a great appreciation for them because they're giving us highlight reels and some of them are giving us the behind the scenes, and that's just like priceless. So my old belief in Vlogmas was I'll just do it like this, do it now. And now my new truth is like creation needs time and space, baby. And how do you do that is make sure you're planning your space is clean and clear, your phone storage is clean and clear so that you can really produce at a great level. One of the things about the space that I realized as well, when I had an idea to use the man cave, the best thing about that was it was a clean slate. I didn't have to worry about moving anything because everything was already clean and ready to go. So I really realized that we need a space to be creative. Whether it's if I have two kitchens, so really one of the kitchens needs to be a prep kitchen that all the nitty gritty is going on, but then one where if I want to do a cookie demo, burn cookie demo, or I want to show how I made something that it's already ready to go and I don't have to like be upset with my family that they dirtied something because life is life. Like they need to be able to live and do what they want to do. And if I'm really serious about being a creator, I'm going to have to make those spaces. And that's my responsibility to keep them clean. So the man cave, I feel uh, me doing the declutter challenge and Vlogmas at the same time actually was a good thing because it was already cleaned. I made space for my creativity. And that's like a very important thing. And also that Vlogmas is not supposed to be this overly curated series. It just has to be during the 25 days of the month. So that really worked out well in that aspect. So where creativity actually lives for me, this is very unfiltered. What I realized is for me to be creative, I not only need to have the space to do it, but I need to capture the ideas that I have. One of the things that I realized my ideas come fast. And at first I was like, I have ADHD, which I believe I do have that. It's just not diagnosed. I've managed it and maybe not the best ways because I didn't harness that I had so many fast ideas. And now that I'm older and I actually have the tools, I can do that. So what tools do I have? My handy dandy cell phone. One of the best things that I started doing these past couple years is capturing my ideas on my notes app. And sometimes it's first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's throughout the day. Sometimes it's when I'm walking. And I'll just talk into my phone. This idea for a podcast, this idea for Substack, a dream that I remembered. I may remember it on my walk. I'll capture all of those in my notes app and go back and input it into my chat GPT and I separate it out. So I have one folder that's for the dreams that I had. I have one folder that's for my Substack ideas. And then I have one that's for my YouTube channel. So that is the way that I really am able to capture my ideas before they disappear because my handwriting is this. This is my handwriting. Sometimes when I'm taking notes, it's too fast, but it does help me to write my notes and process them later. The best things that I've had so far for my capturing ideas are the Zoom notes and my notes app, just talking to my notes app. And then I develop them later because you don't want half of the ideas that just come out, come out, come out. Perfect example was my charcuterie board. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but I had to think what was it that I really wanted to share? Overall for my Vlogmas, I wanted to share joy and inspiration because That's what I want when I'm looking at content. And I also want good information. I don't want crazy stuff. So, where my ideas actually get captured and then developed are in my notes app, in my chat GPT, journaling. So, this is not my journal notebook. This is my work notebook. And I have two different ones. Sometimes for my work notebook, I have ideas that come in for different clients. I'll put them in there. For my journaling in the morning, my monkey pages, as I call them, I will just scribble, 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 scribble. Sometimes I'm also in my app while I'm doing that. So it just depends. Talking out my ideas into the notes app also helps me like organize them at the same time. And at first I used to be really upset with myself because I used to say like, why are you doing this? But you have to do what works for you. So hopefully this is a tool that you can use, and the notes app is free. And I think my husband said he has that for Android. I don't know where he got that from. We're team iPhone, my girls and I, and my two sons. One son has both phones, and my other son has Android, and their pictures are always great and they love it. My notes app is part of my creative team. So, talking about monkey pages, capturing, but also developing. I feel that capturing is one step. Developing is the step that sometimes I skip. Sometimes, like, I think when I first started, and maybe because my ideas were a little, smaller, and not needing to be developed as much. But as I started wanting to do different content that was maybe saying more with words or less with words, as I started to change it up, that's when I realized I really need to sit down and develop where I want my idea to go. So when I'm like too fast paced with my ideas and I don't develop them in depth, sometimes that makes me cringe. Like, I could have explained that more. I could have done more with that. And some ideas, the great thing about having the notes app, some ideas get parked and I can circle back. I remember I had a whole idea for a podcast, and I had put it in my notes app, put it in chat, developed it, and forgot about it because I had so many other ideas. But I circled back, but it just was like, wow, like we think when we have these great ideas that they're just going to be there and we're never going to forget because they're like the best idea. Yes, you will. That's why you need to go ahead and do whatever the thing is that you want to do. Do you want to start a vlog? Do you want to start a blog? Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Please do it. You have all the ideas in you. Just get it done. What are you waiting for? I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm going to encourage you, especially if you tag me in it. All right. So, the hidden lesson: creativity needs room, like literally a room or a closet or a space. Your creativity needs somewhere to land. It needs somewhere for you to park it, needs somewhere for you to develop it later on. So, putting everything together, charging your phone, clearing your storage, idea logs, time block to think. You need to have a think. Most of my thoughtful time is walking around the block. I do a 3-mile walk on Saturday or Sunday, and that's where a lot of my great ideas come. And I know some people say, don't walk with your cell phone, just be quiet and at peace. And a lot of times I'll just have it in my pocket just for that, unless I have a podcast that I wanted to listen to on the walk or a book that I wanted to listen to on the walk. If not, I'm quiet. And I know that the Lord gives me ideas. So we just need to make space for them. And that's a lot with us in this fast pacedness of our lives. We're not making space to be creative. So Vlogmas taught me that creativity doesn't just happen. It is supported. It has to be nurtured to grow. So did Vlogmas help my channel grow? Yes, Vlogmas did help my channel grow because the content's going to be better. It may not have had a huge jump in numbers now, but I believe it will later because it's made me think differently about what I'm doing. I'm not just copying other people. I'm not just trying to be on trend. I'm trying to be the best Roxy version I can be. And with that is who am I? I can't be copying someone else and then being like, oh, well, this is me. Look at my stuff and listen to my stuff. No, at the root of it, I have to care about you and what I'm giving to the world. Right? It's not to say that I'm doing a song and dance to make other people happy, but I want to educate people on how to live their best lives, go through the journey as easy as possible because a lot of things I learned the hard way. I did not understand myself, my mind, my body. So it's like that is at core of what I want my content to be. I want it to be a help to someone. I want it to be and even with I realize even with Foxy Cleopatra that she's funny, she's joyful, she brings joy in my family, but me sharing her is was giving joy and lightness to other people. And a lot of times we don't have that in the world. So Vlogmas definitely helped my channel with that. I talk about heavy topics sometimes, but I'm also able to give light and joy as well. It helped me grow my skills. It helped me process what my mission is. It helped me be creative with confidence because the people that are interested in my content are going to be interested in it. And the people who aren't, I'm not their cup of tea. And it's people out there where I watch their stuff and I'm like, and it's not even about being polished or not, because it's a couple people that I've watched and they just are themselves. And I can really be like, wow, that's encouraged me to be myself. So I'm better prepared for my future ideas, my capturing of ideas, and a stronger execution of my ideas. I'm going to go big or go home. I'm not going to play cringily small or copy somebody else. So, what I'm taking forward with Vlogmas is being better prepped, having more patience with the process because it's not just set up and film, it's other things that go into it. And I appreciate the craft of creating. So, I think with that leads me to my final reflection. My final reflection is on growth, support, authenticity, and connection. One thing I didn't talk about enough was how much my family supported me during Vlogmas, even in the ways that weren't on camera. Some of them showed up in the videos, some of them didn't want to be on camera at all, but they still brought good energy. My middle sister didn't want to be in the videos, but had the best peanut gallery energy commentary ever, which matters. My husband really encouraged me and kept me accountable, especially on the days where I felt like I didn't want to record or I was tired or doubting myself. I remember one time I told myself, like, no one's watching the videos anyway. And he was like, why would you even say that? Like, you could blow up. So it's like that kind of family support is priceless. He reminded me why I started and helped me to keep going. He even showed up in some of the videos with me. And I think he cracked a smile, just cracked a smile. Vlogmas also made me realize that there were a lot of videos I never fully developed, and that was an important lesson. Some ideas don't make it because when I tried to execute them, they didn't feel like me anymore. It was like a cringy feeling that I had seen this before. I was trying to be someone I wasn't anymore. So it was more about a misalignment of who I wanted to show up and be in the world. And when I tried to be overly polished and overly done, micro editing every little thing, it just didn't feel like it was worth it anymore. It's not me. I don't want to do it. So I had to leave it and keep on going. So when I tried to sound younger in ways like, oh, it wasn't me. So I had to leave it alone. Those ideas got scrapped and it taught me something powerful. I'm not selling this sexy version of myself, this youthful version of myself, like I'm always made up and I always have like these quippy things. It's not me. Wasn't me before when I was young and cute. So I just have to show up as myself, not performing youth, not forcing a polish. This is just me. And I can be silly at times, but I'm going to always be real. Another thing that Vlogmas showed me, something I didn't fully expect, is that I really connected with quite a few folks online. Not in a viral way, not in a flashy way of numbers, but like in a real human way, like really cool people that I reached out to that reached out to me. And I just thought, that's pretty cool. That's like the whole purpose of YouTube, connecting with other human beings out there in a human way and encouraging each other in a genuine, kind way, not what can you do for me and all this stuff. I love that about YouTube and about Vlogmas. People reached out, people commented, they shared parts of their lives with me, and it reminded me of why we're on that platform in the first place. Connection happens when you stop performing and start showing up as yourself. The videos that landed and really connected were the ones where I was honest, I was present, I was grounded. Vlogmas taught me that growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like a message that says, I needed this today. This made me laugh today. A comment that lets you know someone feels seen. Then yes, Vlogmas definitely helped my channel. A conversation that continues beyond the video. A kind of connection that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you're real. And honestly, that's the biggest success. Vlogmas didn't make me perfect, but it made me clearer. It showed me what I needed in order to create well: preparation, space, support, and permission to be myself. It reminded me that ideas need room to grow, that authenticity matters more than polish, and that real connection will always outweigh performance. I'm grateful for my family, for the people who showed up in the comments and messages, and for the lessons that came from simply staying with the process. If you're creating something right now, content, a business, a new version of yourself, I hope this encourages you to slow down and just to listen to what the process is teaching you. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if this reflection touched you, I'd love to hear what you learned. And if you're not already subscribed, please feel free to join me here as we keep moving forward mindfully and practically together. Remember to look at yourself with rose-colored glasses because you're doing the best you can. Love you.